Welcome in standards and guidelines. Here we'll have a few recordings in this section. We will start with WCAG 2.1, 2.2 and the PUR principles. The WCAG, which stands for Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, as I already explained in one of the first lessons for this course. Those are technical standards published by W3C Web Accessibility Initiative. They describe how to make web content more accessible to people with disabilities, and very often are references in many laws, in many policies, procurement, etc. WCAG 2.x is version 2.1, which added criteria relevant to mobile and low vision. There were some other things, but those are the most important. And 2.2, which added criteria for pointer targets, authentication, dragging, and refined some guidance. For any new work, prefer the latest stable version, of course, which is 2.2. While I recognize that contracts, some of these references, contracts, applications can still name 2.1 until they are updated, but both are still fine to use. WCAG organizes requirements around 4 principles. We call him PUR, perceivable, not perceptible, excuse me, it's a mistake, I fix it. Perceivable, which is about the information and user interface components that must be presentable to users in such a way that they can perceive. So, for example, there's text alternative for non-text content, or the layout is adaptable, or there's sufficient contrast. Operable, interface components and navigation must be operable. For example, keyboard access, there's enough time to do certain action, navigate structure which is easy to navigate. When it comes to the excuse me, I have the first one should be understandable, so you already know the last one, but before we go, understandable, that information and operation of the user interface must be understandable. For example, the text is readable, or there is predictable behavior, or there is input assistance for the user. And robust, the last letter, content must be robust enough to work with current and future user agents, including assistive technologies. For example, there is a name, role, value for controls, status messages, this kind of stuff. Each principle contains guidelines, and each guideline contains testable success criteria identified by numbers such as 1.4.3. The first digit is the principle. The PUR framing helps team prioritize if something cannot be perceived or operated. Understanding and robustness cannot compensate on their own, so it all need to work, in short. And it's not nothing abstract. It maps to concrete checks. For example, when we have a image, then we want to apply 1.1.1, which stands for non-text content, and then we make sure that it fulfills the first principle, perceivable, which expects a text alternative for non-text content. So text alternative text for image, because image is non-text content. Or like we have here, here we have an example where we are operating with keyboard. So it's 2.1.1. It requires that all functionality from the keyboard. You can use all functionality just from the keyboard. Labels or instruction 3.3.2. Understandable, expect labels on instruction when user input is required. For example, here we'll have a switch, and then we'll have a only visually for screen this information about notifications, and also like name, role, value, robust name, role, and value 4.142. Which requires UI components to expose name, role, and states programmatically. This also we will see in this example. And the custom toggle must synchronize its exposed states with its visuals. So we will see, one moment, we'll see it here. Here we have the code, and when I change it, there is also a script which is programmatically, so it's the 4.1.2. It exposes the states programmatically. For example, I will show you it here. It's easier. I click inspect, I click this, and I click here. Okay. Okay, one moment. And here in the button you can see aria checked false, but programmatically we make it true. You see? True. So this is 4.142. Yes? From keyboard now. Space, 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 space. So this is 2.1.1 operable. Yeah, and I will show you something, so you don't see it now, but there is this information which is using very special class, visually hidden notification. We don't see this text, but it's here. And if I would open my my screen reader,
well, WCAG 2.1/2.2 and the core principles, web content. You are currently on a switch. Inside web content, to toggle this switch, press Ctrl, Option, Space. To exit this web area, press Ctrl, Option, Shift, up arrow. Notifications, on, switch.
you see notifications. So it read the visually hidden class.
Off, notifications, switch. On, notifications, switch. Off, notifications, switch. Space voiceover off.
Yes, so that was this very nice example. I hope you like it as well. So you can see that when the user activated it, first you had the aria check to true, and the visible design which is otherwise was hidden. The notification part was read by the screen reader. I can also hover on this and click command. I think on Windows it will be control, and then I will also have it. Yes, so very good. So we could see how the screen reader is reading the notification part and is reading and is saying about programmatically change state using aria checked false set to true using javascript. Okay, so that's it. In the next class we'll continue about WCAG, and I will tell you more about the conformance levels in the next recording.